All right. Well, so it's a big week for us, obviously. Playing the Ravens, one of the best teams in the league. Organization I have a lot of respect for. With what Steve's done down there since he's taken over the team, and Ozzy obviously did a fabulous job building the team, and it's kind of turned over now. As he stepped aside, or I don't know if he has stepped aside, but whatever. Still, he's got a lot of his fingerprints on it. Job Coach Harbaugh and his staff have done. They've had a lot of turnover, and they continue to be, one of the top organizations in the league rather, with changes in the personnel department, changes on the coaching staff, coordinators this year. Some of the players that they've lost or exchanged, however you want to look at it. Quarterback, Mosley, Suggs, go right down the line. And some of the great players that they've brought in, like Earl Thomas and Ingram, guys like that, as well as their draft. So, very good football team. They do everything well. Good on defense, top of the league in special teams, top of the league in offense. They're a very physical team, play very good situational football, win a lot of close games. Just do everything well. They're very fundamentally sound, tough. Don't turn the ball over. Play well in the kicking game. Play good defense. Can run the ball. Can stop the run. So, great atmosphere down there Sunday night, and a big challenge for us. So we got a lot of work to do this week, but looking forward to the opportunity.
They face a lot of mobile, scrambling quarterbacks this year, but does Lamar Jackson take it to another level?
He's very fast. Yeah, he's had great production.
What do you see out of him as a passer as well?
Good. Yeah, it's good.
Does he remind you of any specific quarterbacks that you faced in the past? I know you faced like Cam Newton, Russell Wilson. Just how do you go about containing such a duel with that threat quarterback?
Yeah, that's a major problem, and everybody's had trouble with him. It'd be a big challenge for us. Yeah, he can do it all. Can run, he can throw. Can throw on the run, can extend plays. It's tough.
Is there any carryover from the time that you spent with him pre-draft? I know at least one visit here, I think you spent more time with him than that, where maybe when you had him up on the board or analyzing tape, that something you could file away?
Yeah, I mean, he runs their office. We didn't even talk about that.
How unique is their running game, just compared to other teams that you guys play?
It's different. I mean, but it's, Coach Roman's running game. It's what he did at San Francisco, what he did at Buffalo. So, I mean, it's that running game.
Following up on that, Bill, are there any major departures from what he did at San Francisco or Buffalo, or is it just kind of the minor?
Well, they're game plan offense, so they dress things up a little differently each week. So some of the things that we're working on now, I'm sure we're not going to get, and there's some things that we're not working on that I'm sure we're going to get. So, he does a good job of changing things up. I mean, they have a core, certainly a base core of plays that they run, but they also have some complementary plays to those, and their core plays they can run a lot of different ways. So they disguise them, put you in different positions, and change the run force, and force you to handle it differently or with a different personnel group. So I'm sure we'll see that. That's what they do every week.
What do you see in Nick Folk?
Well, we'll see how it goes. Haven't seen much so far.
Have you played against him over the years, and is that a guy you've done there?
Yeah, well, I mean, look, yeah, he's had a very successful career, but I mean, we'll see where we're at.
Mark Daniels.
Bill, what went into the decision to part ways with Mike Nugent?
That we need to make a change.
Nick O'Malley.
What have you seen from N'Keal Harry's progression this week as his eligibility window to be activated for the IR opens up?
Well, we'll see how it goes. He's been out there for a couple of weeks, and we still have more time, so we'll take it day by day. See where we're at.
Derek Hyde.
Is it challenging trying to find a balance between staying big enough up front to stop the Ravens' run game while also keeping enough speed on the field to contain Jackson?
Yeah, that's a huge problem. I mean, you hit it on the head. That's it. Yep. They have a very good inside power game, and they have obviously very much a lot of speed on the perimeter, and in passing situations against the pass rush. So, yeah, that's definitely a problem. It's definitely an issue.
Evan Reed.
They've notoriously, historically, have had great defenses. How is Earl Thomas fit into what they brought him in and fit into that defense?
Yeah, well, Earl's a great player, a very instinctive player, and one of the most instinctive players in the league. I know they had another one down there, was pretty good too. So, yeah, but he's very, he plays the defense. He's a very good player, but he also can anticipate and react very quickly and make plays that, probably most other guys in the league couldn't make playing that position. So, he's a really good football player, and they've made a couple additions here. Well, picked up Peters, and then looks like Smith's coming back. So that's a couple good additions to the secondary right there. So, but yeah, they're very solid on defense, and Thomas is an outstanding player.
Mike Reed.
Bill, with Folk, how significant was his recent kicking in the AAF to just sort of keep him as a viable option to you?
Yeah, I don't know. We worked him out. I'd say it's probably more important than the World League or whatever it is.
You guys have been pretty good defensively in terms of limiting deep passing completions. And I'm curious because we've seen moments where you brought a number of players in the pass rush and you haven't had, a ton of people in the secondary limiting those plays. What allows your defense to be successful in those spots, the secondary in particular, and how much faith do you have in those players that they're going to be able to execute when maybe they don't have numbers on their side?
Yeah, well, we have a lot of confidence in our secondary. There's a give and take with the rush and the coverage. So, more guys you have in coverage, fewer guys you have rushing, more guys you have rushing, fewer guys you have in coverage. I mean, it's pretty basic. So, you try to do what you think's best in a particular situation or against a particular team, and the matchups that you have. And, there's an element of changing it up. But, ultimately it comes down to that decision. Do you want to rush more and cover less, or cover more and rush fewer? So and there's middle ground there. So, we've done all the above, and I'm sure we'll continue to do that like we always have. So, just depend on the situation, the team, and so forth.
Bob Sosa.
Bill, when you're preparing for an offense like this, quarterback as fast as he is with the option element, how difficult is it to simulate the speed with which they execute?
Yeah, it's a huge problem, Bob. Yeah, of course. It's probably another quarterback, not another quarterback in a league like this. So, yeah, how do you get one? So, yeah, that's some of the things we'll have to work on. I'd say that's a problem every week. Usually, to some degree, there's some player they have that you don't have anybody like that guy. So that's is what it is. Do the best you can to replicate what they do and who they do it with. But ultimately, that's not going to be quite the same as what we'll see on Sunday night. So.
Bill, yesterday the trade deadline came and went. I know you made 2 deals previously, but is that a pretty busy day even when you don't ultimately make a deal that day?
Yeah, it wasn't for me, no. Nope. Well, I spent the whole day on the Ravens.
Casario and the schedule.
Yeah, probably I don't know. I didn't spend the day with Nick, but Nick works hard every day. Sure, if there was anything to do there, he was doing it.
You've spoken about this on the past, but how much do you trust him in decision-making and negotiation and all the challenges that come with it?
Nick's done a great job for us. He continues to do a great job for us.
Andrew Callahan.
Bill, John Harbaugh was just detailing for us your first encounter with him when you were with the Browns and he was at the University of Cincinnati. Do you remember anything about those first few encounters and the impression he left on you?
Yeah, look, you meet a lot of coaches in this business, and you go out and scout, and you go out and go to the combine and workouts and so forth. So you meet a lot of people, and developed a relationship and friendship with John, and ultimately it's carried us to where it's carried us to. So.
Baltimore's gotten a lot of production out of their tight ends this season, especially Andrews. What kind of challenges does that group pose?
Yeah, it's a good group. Yeah, Andrews is an excellent receiver. He's their top target on third down. He's has got the most production of any receiver, but they have a good receiving group overall, as tight ends as well as receivers. And but he's big, he's athletic, he has very good hands, catches the ball well, he's got good instincts. Hurst is another athletic guy, obviously first-round draft pick, runs well, has good size, catches the ball well. Boyle's kind of a all-purpose guy, does a little bit of everything. Good blocker, but they have a good receiving core also with Brown obviously and Snead. So they've done Brown's given a lot of explosive plays. I know he's been out for a couple of weeks, so I'm sure he'll be back for us. But that between Jackson, Brown's speed, Andrews inside the running game, it's a lot to defend. It's hard to get them all.
Your final question, Bob Sosi?
Bill, how would you describe Don Martindale, his defense, characteristics of it? Is it a defense that resembles the Ravens of the past, or the wrinkles that he's introduced?
Yeah, they're a very good run defense. They have good run players. They got several disruptive players up front, guys that are hard to block, and they mix up their coverages. They mix up man zone. There's some pressure in there, but in the end, it's hard to block those guys. And when they have all their coverage players out there, they're very good at matching up. But I'd say it's a multiple defense. They're just not going to sit in one thing all day. You're going to have to figure it out to a degree and deal with different problems, man zone, blitz zone, and different combinations of packages. They have a very good, as I said, run defense, but they can get the sub, they can get the transition defenses in between. So it's they give you a number of different problems, as they do in all three phases of the game. They're a hard team to prepare for, on offense, on defense, and in the kicking game. So it takes a lot of energy, work, effort, preparation to be able to play a 60-minute game against them. They stress you at every in every area. So that's one of the reasons. They have good players. They're well coached, and they kind of do everything pretty well. So that's why it's tough. Yep. Okay. All right. Yep. Thank you.